Good morning. This is Schengen Story Media. Today, news roundup coming straight from Milan, Italy. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwan, and here with me to give news, look into occurrences around the world, give insights and updates. My very good friends, coordinators of Schengen Story Media all around Europe. With me is Mazi Azugotsen. Mazi Azugotsen is coming to us from Bedford, UK. Mazi Azu, good morning.
Good morning, Comrade Mark Godwin. From here in Peterborough, United Kingdom, I want to say good morning or good afternoon to everyone out there watching and listening to us. It's my great pleasure being with you today.
Thank you. Also reporting from France is our coordinator, Matthew Ebobuche. Chuma, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, moderator and the chief editor. This is me. I'm greeting all of you from France, here in Nantes. We're here to do justice to what we normally do, what Schengen is known best for.
Thank you.
Good morning, good day.
Good morning. Thank you. So, first of all, we will give our news headlines all around the world. A lot of things are happening, and we need to be briefed. From North Korea, we hear that from North Korea, we are getting reports that the nuclear reactor operation has resumed. So the North Koreans have begun the nuclear program. From our backstage here, that's in Britain, we're hearing of the reactions of COVID-19 on some people. And that doesn't seem to be like a good news, but we know it's still far better than not being vaccinated. From Poland, in the eastern bloc of Europe, news that activists are damaging barriers that have been placed between Belarus and Poland. Also, we're getting information from New Zealand. Somebody died from inflammation after taking the COVID Pfizer jab. From our back country here, back door here, Germany, elections are on the way, and there is a strong contender for the prime minister position. So we hear that the contender is saying offensive things on live TV debates. He's making offensive remarks on live TV debates. Now we are going to our country, Nigeria, in Africa. So many things are happening. We hear of the situation in Jos, and the Governor Lalong has relaxed the 24 hours curfew that was imposed on a local government in Jos Plateau. Also, we're hearing that our great sister Obi Ezekwesili has become a Yale University senior fellow. That's a one-time presidential contender and the conveyor for the Bring Back the Girls in Nigeria. Still in Nigeria, we are getting information that NAFDAC has urged the Assembly, the National Assembly, to pass a counterfeit medical product bill, and that's a serious one. That's a very serious one. Still in Nigeria, there are situations of APC and the vice president insisting that he's not campaigning for presidential position come 2023. So we don't know how true that is. We hope it is not a ploy. Still in Nigeria, some more news. The president is begging Jos indigene to please give peace a chance. Give peace a chance. President Mohamed Buhari tells Jos people. In Nigeria again, there's a sad news of a senator's son that was choked to death by assailant. A senator's son choked to death. And we are also having reports on updates on the federal government ultimatum that has been issued to striking resident doctors. So these and more, as we go along the news around the world. Now we will come back to the studio to discuss some of the news events. So Mazi Azu and my good friend Chuma. Mazi Azu, what is going on with Afghanistan? Afghanistan, can you bring up this? No, sorry, let's go back. Let's go first to Nigerian security situations. What are the things happening? Can you bring us to date on situations of security in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much, our dear anchor person and editor-in-chief of Schengen magazine, Comrade Mark Godwin. It's my great pleasure. The situation in Nigeria remains very complex and unpredictable. The insecurity condition is still highly and very much prevailing, and the elected governors and the president himself are still finding it very, very strenuous and difficult to carry out a stringent security measure or strategy that would lead to any form of curtailing the level of insecurity ravaging the looks and corners of Nigeria. And that is becoming an issue of great concern to many Nigerians, both the rich and the poor. The situation right now is that there's still much more challenges with the banditry and kidnapping condition in the northwest and northeast of the country. The condition has now become a very promising business and lucrative enterprise for certain individuals who have taken to that kind of criminal activity across that part of the country. Up to as at yesterday, there was some killings in Katsina, number of killings in Zamfara, and people being kidnapped and carted away. Even in Kaduna, as you said, some unknown individuals break into the private residency of one of the sons of Senator Mohammed. Is it Mohammed Nahala or something like that? And strangled the young man, 36-year-old, a pilot by profession, and just got married a couple of months, or I think a couple of months ago, and snuffed out his life, and nobody knows the reasons. Obviously, it will be counted as one of those unknown men or known gunmen killings. So that's another addition, in Kaduna State. Obviously, the issue in Jos is a very, very, very serious concern to not only to the Jos and Plateau people, but to the entire North Central and Nigeria as a whole. Many of us who know a lot about Jos, I spent about 3-4 years in Jos in the late 80s and early 90s, and Jos used to be one of the most peaceful places that you can spend your time and career in. It used to be a tourist capital of Nigeria because of the climate condition. There are periods where you have Hamatan, what we call winter here, and there are periods where you have a very nice summer, sunshine in Plateau State. And all that has gone with the ravaging conflict and crisis, which emanated in the 90s when I was there, between the indigenous Birium community in Jos North and Jos central local government areas of Jos, at the point when the then Gwam Jos, the paramount traditional ruler of Jos town, who is a Birium, who the stool belongs to the Birium indigenous people, but then the Fulanis who have settled in Jos for many years or decades took a challenge to challenge the stool of the Gwangwan Jos with the indigenes. That led to one of the greatest crises in Jos town. Actually, I left Jos during that period because of the unsafe environment. That was the beginning of the crisis in Jos. And now the crisis has now developed over the years with political infiltration, with the emergence of the Fourth Republic. And now you have crisis between the indigenous Ngas people. Ngas people are those who are indigenous plateaus in Panshin, Langtan, and part of those local government areas. And then you have the Biriums, who are more in in Jos, North Jos Central, Bukuru, and all those Miango area. And then you have the Fulanis, who are settlers, obviously, who are not challenging a lot. And that has metaphors into what is now seen as the recent killings between the Muslim and the Christians. The conflict is only by grace of God that we have that, because now we see, because of the metropolitan culture, interwoven culture of Georgetown, the University of Jos is one of the universities where you have multi-ethnic students in every Nigerian federal universities. You have students that come from the east, students that come from the west, students that come from the south, students that come from the southeast, all in numbers in University of Jos. And now that is openly shown. A lot of people are not aware of it, but this conflict has shown truly that Jos is a cosmopolitan university for most Nigerians, because you see the governor of Lagos State sent a vehicle to remove the student indigenes of Lagos State. Enugu sent, Abia sent, Cross River, Akwa Ibom sent. There's another state, about 5-6 states have sent security apparatus to go and get their indigenous students from Jos, because the killing is now getting into pinpointing students in University of Jos. And the president has not done so much well, in the sense that he's taken a bit of a side of the Muslim Christian agenda in this killing, which is not going down well with the resolution. Jos is a very critical state in Nigeria that we do not expect the kind of terrorist banditry situation that ravaged Borno, Benue, Kaduna to enter into Plateau State and in Jos. If that happens, then there is a very, very big situation in Nigeria. And also we had today that unknown gunmen are now shifting their base from the southeast to the south-south. There was a killing in Rivers State as at yesterday of an unknown gunman, killing about 3, 4, 5 people in a community in Rivers State. And I see the truth here is the Nigerian military, the Nigerian security apparatus are yet to be open and honest to themselves, because I believe that there is infiltration in the Nigerian security network. There are people in the police, there are people in the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, there are people in Nigerian Army, there are people in Nigerian Navy that are aiding and abetting all kinds of insecurity happening in the country. And obviously, it's one of the reasons why I do not agree with the governor of Borno State of giving terrorists rehabilitated, according to them, and the radicalized Boko Haram members a freedom to integrate into the society in a very short period of time, and at the end integrating them into employment in our security fabric, which is not very, very reasonable. It's not very, very safe, because you cannot know the mind of a man, because the mind of a man is very, very wicked, and it is difficult to interpret what is in the mind of a man. And I believe that some of these reintegrated Boko Haram or banditry individuals into the Nigerian security fabric are also part of the damages that are happening, because they are the informants. They are the informant for those that are in the bush, that are in the forest, that are operating in those areas they are operating. And obviously, the Nigerian security cannot tell us that the camps they have identified are so hidden that they cannot attack those camps directly and obviously take these people out in those camps. Is another issue. It's another issue we need to find out.
Exactly. That's what we're saying, Maziazu. Maziazu, thank you very much. News roundup is going on, and Maziazu is bringing us real deep, up-to-date discussion on Nigerian security and happenings. Politically, what is happening on the floor? Chuma from France. What's happening in Nigeria politically? Bring us up to date, Chuma. Thank you.
Yeah, on the political field, so many things has been going on. First, we are hearing about the Pdp crisis and their conventions that they are trying to hold in October. They said it's in Abuja, but they are still having a leadership problem because Sekondo is still fighting to be there. He still wants to be the chairman of PDP. He still wants to rule, even though the court has said no. They go back to the court. They get another injunction that brings them back. This is a situation. It's a typical thing that tells us what is going on in Nigeria. That nobody wants to leave the post for others to go, for others to rule. We always believe that we are the best, no matter what it is. If you have a skeleton in your cupboard, then if somebody else is going into that place, you should try and not to keep anything that is not good there. If your leadership has produced something that is not too good, why not allow another person to try? Still on that, we are also hearing that some youths or some group of people are still beckoning on Atiku to come back and contest for presidency in 2023. Now, this brings us to a situation whereby we are trying to find out, where do we stand in this nation? Must we continue to recycle, maintain? Must we continue to say one particular people are bent to be ruling the others? Just like we are getting a group that calls themselves a progressive consolidated group. They have been going around campaigning for the vice president, Osibanjo, to take over from President Buhari to lead. But he keeps saying that he is not in support. But this group have gone around so many states, building up support for him. And he said he's not. So we don't know. I once had somebody who was saying something. The son asked him, "Daddy, how do we go about this?" He said, "As a politician, I can never tell you the truth." So we don't know who is telling the truth and who is not telling the truth. Most of these people campaigning for this are all for their own selfish interest. The nation wants to move forward. The nation is bleeding, and it's not really something very good. And it's not helping us to get at something. It's not helping us to move forward if we are not giving room to other people to try, for other people to come out there and tell us, this is how we can go. This is another way to try. We see how it goes. Just like we also know that Alhaji Ahmed Tinubu is also gunning for the same post. We heard that Governor Yahaya Bello said, sorry for that, Yahaya Bello told Tinubu to give way for his children to rule. That is a very clarion call for the youth to sit up. It's going a very longer way to see that people wake up and take up to their own responsibilities. The political situation in Nigeria is not too rosy because it looks as if there's still the same field, in the same terrain, is the same people that are still playing. We had a football match, we had a football team that we used to have the Green Eagles that moved over to become Super Eagles. Today, it is not the same people that were there that are here now. There was experiment, there were changes, and people came to where they are. So what we are having in Nigeria today happens to be recycling of same people every day, every time. So the political situation is not too friendly for us for now. And that brought us to where the doctors are also saying they don't want to continue working. Why are they not working? Because the political situation is not really favorable to them. They are not being paid. They're not cared out for. There's no good equipment for them to work. There's no good environment for them to work. Within this situation, if you give them a little thing outside, they jump out of the country. That is brain draining. And if our doctors and our people in the medical field should leave the nation, so what will happen tomorrow? What will happen to our people? People are dying today, and many of us don't even believe what is happening in the country. Many are dying of COVID, many are dying of other diseases, and all we keep seeing is people being diagnosed of the same thing, of acute malaria and everything, typhoid fever, because the doctors are not, they are not supported, they are not given the grounds to move forward and to do something better, to take care of the situation in the country. The political situation is not allowing us to get something out of our citizens. Thank you.
We're going to come. Thank you very much, Chuma Bomuche from France. We're going to come to the doctors and the strike and all that. We'll go on a short break now. This is news roundup from Schengen Story Media. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we're discussing the Afghanistan, Taliban, ISIS situation. We're discussing the doctors' protest and the doctors trying to leave Nigeria. We're also discussing the late Jimi Hendrix of Africa. That's Victor Whitefoot's death and some other issues. So stay on and we'll be right back. News Roundup, Schengen Story Media. Thank you.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. The articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better. The Inside Story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Yes, this is News Roundup, Schengen Story Media. We're back to the studio with my partners, coordinators from Europe, from the UK, Dotsin Azu, and from France, Chuma Bomuche. Chuma, Dotsin, what is happening? How do you guys see the Afghanistan situation? This morning, 5 rockets were fired on Kabul airport. U.S. official is telling us, and we saw during the weekend the laying to rest of 13 officers, 13 gunned down officers. Maziazu, what are you seeing there? What is happening in Afghanistan? And what is happening also with Europeans on this whole situation?
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I do go into the Afghanistan situation, I do like to say that one great issue that Nigerians needs to look into in relation to our party politics and our democracy is the area of decency in politics and political ideological direction in organizing party politics and party philosophy. What we see in Nigeria is people jumping from one end to another end without observing the political and party ideological and philosophical principles that set up each and every political institutions in Nigeria. And that is the greatest thing that has been misused by Nigerian politicians. And I think Nigerian politicians should be brought to an understanding, a proper orientation of who you are as a politician. What does the party political what does the political party platform stands for? Does it align with your principles, your philosophy, your ideas, your knowledge of being in politics? And if that is the case, why are you missing up the two? And so it is very obvious that we have a very big challenge in this area, because if you examine party politics in many advanced countries, even ordinary Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, they have two different parallel political institutions. If you are here, you cannot just easily jump into this one. You are here, you cannot easily jump into the other one. And that is the case, because then you understand why the party is being formed. You understand the direction the party is going in order to create its own governance and power, and governance in power, or power in governance. And so this is the problem we have in Nigeria. And I believe PDP, I believe PDP, APC will be able to guide themselves in understanding, why are you joining the party? Why do you want to join the party? Do you know the party? Do you understand the party you're joining? What is your ideology? What is your philosophy? What is your spirit of governance? Does it align with that of the party? Not just because you want the person to come because you want to get elected or be elected, and that is what is killing the two parties. We need to understand that there is a sense in a social progressive party. There is a sense in an liberal economic driven political party. Which one do you belong to, and which one do you believe in? And so from there we go to Afghanistan, and the Afghanistan issue is almost similar to what is happening in Nigeria. There is no real sense of coordination and cooperation, and the ability to integrate all that really needed to be integrated into the new Afghan democratic system were not properly taken into consideration and reintegrated into the system within the context of the new Afghan political system and constitutional derivation, which came into being within the last 20 years when the stabilization of Afghan society was helped by the intervention of the international community. And as such, it became a problem. It became a problem because then the Taliban felt alienated, disenfranchised in one form or the other. The Taliban felt they were not given enough room to be part of the emerging democracy in Afghan, and then they went away, regrouped themselves. And in the mix of regrouping their numbers or their strength, they got infiltrated with ISIL. ISIL, the moment they were completely annihilated in Syria and part of Iraq, they started looking for other new environment. They started looking for new ungoverned spaces around the world where they can infiltrate the community, the indigenes, sort of nationalistic driven groups, and they find a room and a space in this Taliban mountain dwelling groups, and by such doing grew the Taliban's faith and hunger to engage the Afghan government in ensuring that their presence is felt, in ensuring that they be recognized that they are still there and they are still willing to do anything to get into power. And gradually they build all that challenge, that militancy challenge, that aggressiveness, and it resulted to what we are seeing today. And obviously the Taliban, we are coming in good faith to take power. But the ISOs who infiltrated their numbers or their mix have a different agenda, and their agenda, the ISO agenda, is to retaliate the role of the international community in the Muslim world, and as such, their greatest enemies are the Western allies that are engaging and taking territorial spaces in the Islamic world, according to them. And so they are camouflaging camouflaging under Taliban, and to also perpetuate very huge military insecurity in the new reformed Afghan that is happening right now. And Americans are not going to get that. Yes. Americans are not going to take that lightly. So it's going to be another. It's going to be another guerrilla warfare, irrespective of who, who comes in Afghan.
Yeah, let me come in to say that yes, you're giving very good insight. But the situation with ISIS and the Taliban is a very strange one. You know, the Taliban believes in a little bit on a democratic kind of terrorism, you know, terrorism where you can rule a country and not be too hard. But the ISIS are the opposite. And what we found out is the ISIS-K, this new group that sprang up from the border town of Afghanistan and Pakistan, they are tending to be more violent and more, they want to show that they are more tougher. So they are doing that. Last time we heard of that strike, killing Americans and some British and lots of people. The news round tells us 170 something people, but the truth of the story is there are close to 1,000 people that died from that bomb blast. And what we see there is a situation where not just retaliating, they are trying to show that they are on a more stronger mission. They are trying to also bring the hardcore Sharia law into place. They don't believe in what Taliban is doing. So there will be a very fierce battle between these two fractions, very fierce, because the ICK wants to establish itself very strong in the world and let people know. But thank God for what has happened. We heard that the two bombers have been taken down. Chuma, what is happening there with the Afghan and the ICK and the Europeans? How are the Europeans taking this?
Actually, this is a very delicate situation. And when we discuss about this, we have to really look at it from every angle. Like my country here, my president is saying it's not something that is going to be very easy to be handled. And then first of all, he's talking about human rights, that if Taliban want to, have anything to do with the outside world, they must be able to respect human rights. And these human rights we are talking about is allowing people who want to live, let them live. Those who want to stay, let them stay. And at the same time, allowing people to have freedom of whatever they want to do, but in a moderate form. Again, when looking at that, France has left. The last batch left on Friday and then came in here on Sunday with the diplomats, French diplomats that are in Kabul. They have landed here, but a lot of people are still left there because there's a very serious tension going on there now. IC, which we all know is a very #1 terrorist organization in the world. In as much as it was claimed that they have been defeated, but they were not defeated. That was a little blow to them, I must say, because they went underground and they have spread around the world because most of their members entered other parts of the world. Now that they have come out again and they're now trying to do this with Taliban, I see that what they want to do now is not just coming out to come and show themselves, but they are trying to see if they can get an authority and let them have a nation that is under their control. From there, they can now start hitting up to other parts of the world, which we are not seeing to be something friendly or something funny. Like if you check out what they have done at the airport now, like it's already said, we were saying 170 people were killed, and then 18 military service American servicemen were killed, and we have seen them being taken home. But the number which we also know is more than that. But we want to ask, that is the first question: what do you want? The Taliban and the ISIS, what do you want from the world? What do you want? You don't want peace, you don't want happiness, you don't want freedom. What do you want? People are there, with you. They are listening. You brought a religion, they are following your religion, and you're still bringing in more laws into them. Yes, that's okay. You live the way you want it. But if you don't want peace, you stay where you are, where you can control, but not to other people, forcing them also to live your kind of life, and then you bring your problems over there. The world is very big to accommodate everybody.
Thank you
and
very
we
much.
can always have it very well.
Yes.
If we can allow people move easily, let the other world also understand us very well. You are pushing people out of your country. Please let them go peacefully and don't destroy them. And then enter a good dialogue with Taliban and reach your good compromise where you can operate safely and let there be more lives and more people to live in Afghan. Because if you wipe them, there won't be anybody for you to rule again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Talking about Afghan, we have this photo there of a one-time Minister of Communication in Afghanistan, and now residing in Germany. That's Syed Ahmed Shia. He's an Afghan communication minister. He now works as a Uber bicycle rider distributing food in a region in Germany. It is said that he moved to Germany last December in the hope for a better future after the government crumbled. So we are seeing different things happening, and who knows where the president is now. We know he ran away with lots of cash and property, and we also know that he has so much to answer to. So we are looking at all these, and thank you so much for giving your insight. So that's Ahmed Shia. Yes,
I think this goes to show that there is a very huge challenge for the Western allied forces and countries that are involved in this whole peace resolution or democratic order in Afghanistan. And if they don't do it well this time around, we're going to see another huge level of insecurity network operation from Afghan to the rest of the world. Because now we have countries taken in, just like Syed Ahmed Shia, who is now an Uber food delivery worker in Germany. Who knows what his mind is telling him on a daily basis, doing what he's doing. And so we're going to have a lot of people like that in France. We're going to have a few people in Germany. We're going to have a lot of them here in the UK. But the fear for many citizens and many indigenous people of these Western countries, either in the US, is how assured and reliable are these Afghans coming in and giving all the right to stay are going to be in the near future. Are they going to end up being spies of Taliban? Are they going to end up to be spies of ISIL? Are they going to end up one day blowing up somewhere before the the Western countries begin to realize that they've taken a very compromise security decision by bringing people in on that ground.
That needs to be asked, and we're still on News Roundup, Schengen Story Media. Now, talking on Germany with our the shared man in Germany, we are going to another part of Germany. There's a part of Germany called Düsseldorf. Düsseldorf, during the week, celebrated its 75th anniversary as a region, a county. Now, Düsseldorf, researchers has it that Düsseldorf is one of the richest regions in Western Europe. There's a part in Düsseldorf called North Rhine-Westphalia, Western here, and it's where you have most manufacturing companies and most industries in Germany. So what happened was the celebration of the 75th anniversary attracted Ghana president, the African Ghana President Akufo-Addo came to that event, the 75th anniversary, and he also came to have some business dealings with the mayor, the governor of Düsseldorf. And but it turned out ugly. During the meeting, they had a break in session, and the Ghana president with his entourage and the people he came with went on a lunch break, kind of. And there were the Ghanaians in Düsseldorf waiting in a queue to the entrance of the place they were going to. And there was that booing and yelling and shout from the crowd, the Ghanaians that were there, that Akufo-Addo, go fix our country. Go and fix our country. So I don't know if you guys saw that it went down last week, and it's
Ghana president, Ghana president.
Hey, shut my devil.
Ghana president.
Hey, Nana, peace the country, oh, peace the country. Nana, peace the country, we love you. Nana, we beg you, fix the country. Nana, we beg you, fix the country. Nana, fix the country, we beg you. Fix the country. Fix the country, so we can come back home.
Begging for our rights all the time.
Fix the country so we can come back home, oh, fix the country. Fix the country so we can come back home. We want to come back home, oh, we want to come back home. Fix the country.
We have our own rights. Yeah. We are not here for life. We have gold, we have oil, everything.
We are suffering. We want to come back home. Fix the country so we can come back home. Fix the country so we can come back home.
Africa with mineral resources without nothing. We cannot do anything. Please, fix the country. We are here to borrow fucking money. Fix the country.
Listen, you bring these girls here, useless girls, you bring them here for nothing. Fix the country so we can come home.
So you've all seen it. It went viral last week, and it's funny. Actually, the Ghana president Nana Akufo-Addo was also there to strike a business deal with Volkswagen. We all know the Volks company is in Germany, and it's also one of the reasons he was there. But the man has done quite some things for the country, but not as much as the expectation. Well, Chuma, what do you say with this situation? It's
well, yeah, you can see I'm smiling. Why am I smiling? if we can go back to some of our articles in Schengen Story Media, that is titled "Homeward Bound," you can see that the writer was actually telling people how to go home and do something great. You come to Europe, you leave your country to go and acquire one or two knowledge, and then you go back home and impact that onto other people. But when you come here to get at something, you find out the system has been well structured that you get yourself stuck one way or the other. And then why do we stay back? Because back home, if you go home, you want to go and start a bakery business. Now let's say that, because we start from the normal thing people really want is food. The basic thing is food. You want to go and start a bakery business or ice cream business. The first problem you will face is electricity. You don't have electricity. The second one you will face is roads. How can you distribute your products to people? We were taught in the elementary part of it in economics that when you want to set up an industry, first of all, you check nearness to raw materials, and then distribution, and then marketing. But here in Africa, we have a very serious problem. We don't get good roads. You see somebody that will be giving money to build roads. He will prefer to pocket that money and use the money to buy a personal something, and we don't want that to be shared by everybody, which makes us really see things that we are wasting. Every day we keep complaining that the Western world is controlling us, the Western world don't value us, the Western world don't want this. But how do we value ourselves? What do we do to help ourselves go on? Our political people, political leaders, our government, what are they putting in place? It is just when you see a governor goes to build a road, people will come out and start clapping for him. Why are you clapping for him? That is his right. That's the work he was elected to come and do. And then when you are building a road, you don't even build a road that will last. You build a road that will last for 2-3 days. After, you come back to bring in the whole thing. The governor, the Ghanaian president came to cry, to negotiate for a business to bring Volkswagen back to them, just the same way other countries are doing. Now, he wants to see how he can improve production and employment in his country. But the people are crying because they want more. They need more. If what he is doing is not good, people will continue to cry higher and more. But they are saying that he should fix their country, and he is trying. I must say, if what he's doing in Ghana is also the 10th way they are doing it in Nigeria, we wouldn't be complaining. I've been to Ghana. I can see the good roads they have. The electricity is uninterrupted. They have good electricity. Now, Nigeria, we are losing a lot of industries. They are moving Nigeria to Ghana. Why? And Ghana is also becoming the hub of Africa. When we have a giant of Africa like Nigeria there, and we cannot even get at what we are crying about. Now, the people were so polite and honest. They didn't attack him. They showed love.
We saw what happened in France when the man tried to show some love and he slapped the French Prime Minister. And I was telling some friends also the day this happened that if it were probably Nigerians that got this close to the president, they would give him knuckle. They would hit him. Sure. I remember what happened in Germany. Godson Azu. In Germany, when one of our senators came,
when Equeremado visited a region. I think the Ghanaians are a bit more civilized than most of us from the Nigerian, and I will want to say that obviously from the video clip I saw, we just watched now, the most interesting thing here I had is that people are acting like Oliver Twist. They want more. which means the president is doing something, but they need him to do more for the good of the Ghanaian people. I would say, obviously, that President Akufo-Addo is one of the emerging capacity building president in the whole of Africa today. He is one of the only African president that is attracting foreign investment in the physical terms of it. People not just announcing it as a media hype, but really making it happen at the end of it. Him and the president of Rwanda, Kagame, they are the key presidents in Nigeria, in Africa today, that are attracting foreign investors that will bring about foreign investment, bring about infrastructure, bring about employment in their country. Most of us remember how Twitter left relocating their regional headquarters in Africa from Nigeria to Ghana. We can see other big companies also that are doing the same, relocating their regional headquarters to Accra. And if he's going, we all grew up to know about Volkswagen in Nigeria, but now we don't know anything about it anymore. And if he has gone to the Rhine region in Germany to attract Volkswagen to come to Ghana and reinvest in Africa by locating their industrial plant or assembly plant in Ghana, that is a very attractive pursuance. And I feel that obviously he is doing very well. Remember, he ran two concurrent elections against John Mahama, and he won the rerun of that election. And John Mahama, in good faith, conceded and allowed for a peaceful transition of government in Ghana. And he has been able to manage the COVID situation. Ghana is only one of the countries in Africa that is paying their citizens for COVID palliatives directly, physically, happening live, not unlike some African countries where it's not really showing live. He has been able to manage the economy properly. And obviously, we are hoping to have him in the UK very soon, because an organization here in the UK is looking forward to honor him in the UK in the next few weeks for his good work in Africa and in Ghana as a whole. And I believe that if people ask for the right thing, it is good that the president hear those right ones and good ones and work on it and make it happen. The Ghanaians are looking for a better place to go back to, just like any other African diaspora and immigrants around the world, looking for their president to make their country conducive and friendly enough to attract their diasporans back home, to also do what we call now the diaspora direct investment. We all know FDI, but many people don't know the DDI. That's what is coming up now. That's called the DDI, Diaspora Direct Investment. So there are a lot of us who have enough money, unlike the companies and foreigners that also have that kind of money. But many of us as diasporans are afraid to take our money back to Africa or to our various countries, because we seem to know more of our country than the foreigners. But the foreigners are willing to take the risk, even though they don't know nothing about your country, or they are not willing to believe in what the country is all about, but they are willing to take the business risk. Business is about risk. They're willing to take the risk to invest and hope to make the money. So we all in the diaspora are also hoping that one day we will develop the diaspora direct investment methodology, where whatever be the risk in Africa, we take it with a pinch of salt and invest our money for the greater good of the people and our people and our brothers and sisters in Africa, and all look forward for the benefit of it.
Thank you very much, Mazi Azu. News roundup going on, Schengen Story Media, and my colleagues, my coordinators in Europe are bringing great insights. We really appreciate this. Now, talking about the diaspora and what is happening, how people are moving. There's a situation that happened during the week also in Nigeria, where doctors were seen on a queue going to get application to leave the country. I know you've all seen that video. Let's just see some clip of it and portraits on that.
Qualified medical doctors applying for jobs overseas, in Saudi Arabia to be precise.
What you can see behind me right now is the
process of the recruitment of Nigerian doctors by the Saudi Arabian authorities. This exercise is currently ongoing at the Sheraton Hotel and Towers, right here in the Nigerian capital, Abuja. Nigerian resident doctors have been on strike for almost a month in their demand for better working conditions, and negotiations with the government have failed repeatedly. And the prospect of working for the Saudi government is now seen as a big escape.
The federal government is showing the cold shoulder attitude, doesn't show any kind of responsibility or being careful about the situation. I can't imagine, I can't believe my Honorable Minister of Health came out and he threatened us. So I think it does not make sense, or it doesn't make much. I mean, it wasn't the situation. To be candid, we're very, very disappointed. I personally am disappointed. When I go to where I work in a very critical care services of the hospital. But basic things that we need, we don't have. Some things I used to put in my money to buy what I need, just for the sake of the patient. And to worsen the situation and to make the matter worse, and day by day, there is no any progress.
To escape from the hills in the society.
What do you mean by ills of
A
society?
lot of discouraging things. You see banditry, see kidnapping, incessant strike, and all those stuff. And if you can get a place where you can walk, a place that is calm, a place where you can use your skill and you can be well enumerated, is it not better?
For Vivian Okolo here, it is more of a situation of heartbreak as she expresses frustration over the ever-worsening situation in the healthcare system, with this particular case in point.
I left. Yes, you've seen the video. I know you've also seen it before. On top of this, the Minister of Health, Nigeria, the federal government Minister of Health, is saying that it's not a bad idea to have our surplus doctors go abroad. But different think tanks, different analysts have been giving views. Some actually support the Minister of Health's comment, and many are saying, no, this is brain drain, this is skill drain, this is going to affect the Nigerian health sector as we go on. My group coordinators, what do you say? Chuma Epomuche, what is your take on this?
I'm short of words. I feel like crying. First, before I talk about the doctors, I want to say, you cannot be a leader and then you try to tell others that it is by force. I believe that for you to lead, you must lead by example. If you want respect, you must give respect unto others also. So the Minister of Health, Dr. Sagie, I don't expect him to be, using the kind of words he's using for these people or harassing them, intimidating them. These people, if they say they don't want to work again, they have their certificates and whatever, they just sit at home. People will start dying. If he, as a Minister of Health, is not there, somebody else will be there. And if he knows as a father, he should be able to relate with these doctors very well. Let's take a look. A doctor is in a theater and is doing that with a rechargeable lantern. To operate somebody with a rechargeable lantern, and the nurse is by the side fanning him. What do you expect? It doesn't look good. We are talking about human beings here. We're not talking about animals. Our hospitals should have the least things that are needed in the world in a hospital. There should be steady electricity. We should have oxygens. We should have equipment to take care of human beings. We have this money. Let the government minister, please, come out and bring these things out. Let's have all these things. There are budgets for this. Bring out the money and fix our hospitals. Save the life of Nigerians, and then stop our doctors from leaving the nation. This is capital flight, and this is a brain draining. You are taking these people out. If you people are sick, you run out of the country. The poor people like us, where do we go to? The pharmacist needs to have hospitals. There should be insurance schemes that will be able to, help people. You go to some private hospitals, you see them, before you are treated, you pay hundreds of thousands of naira. How many people can afford all these things? Our doctors are crying. Listen to him. No salary, no equipment to work with, not even good conditions to work with. And they are there still struggling to work. And you're saying we have excess. How do we have excess? America, they're trying to put it that it should be one doctor to 5 people or 10 people. And we are complaining of one doctor to 20, 200 people. And you're saying we have excess.
It's a very pathetic situation. It's actually the Minister of Labor, Dr. Ngige, that said, use the word, we have excess so they can go. Maziazu, how do you see Ngige's comment and this situation of brain drain? How do you weigh it together? Maziazu.
Thank you, my honorable friend. I think the problem, as I earlier said at the early sessions of this discussion, with regards to party politics, party ideology, party philosophy, party blueprint, and if a party that identify itself as progressives, and one of the key principles of a progressive ideology is social progression, is a kind of a socialist principles that drives social intervention and alleviate equality among the society. And the government of the present government party in power believes or thought or thinks to believe in that progressive ideology or principles, but are not in reality implementing any of these concepts to the greater good of the Nigerian people. When you look at the ministers, they are not people who are showcasing the understanding of what it means to have a good social intervention policy and how to drive such a policy for the greater good of the social society. And that is the case right now. If you have a country where it is estimated by statistics that there are about 75,000 Nigerian qualified doctors for 209 million people. And out of that 75,000 qualified doctors and dentists, these are doctors and dentists, practitioners. And as today, out of that whole bunch of number, we only have about 33,000 of them functioning or working or practicing across the whole of Nigeria, which means invariably you have one doctor to almost 1,000 people to serve 1,000 people. And no any doctor that engages himself in that is like a doctor in a war zone, trying to save the life of every 1,000 fallen or injured soldier, and as such is very, very ridiculous. And out of that 33,000 or 35,000 left over practicing in Nigeria, approximately about close to about 15,000 of them have been working hard in various ways to leave Nigeria for other promising countries that have enabling working condition and social intervention programs to give them a good head in their career. And that is the biggest problem. And you find out that out of those who have taken painstaking steps to remain in the public sector, you are owing them 6 months, 10 months, 19 months, and yet they are sacrificing their time and hour and manpower to keep working all these months and months of owing. And yet those who say they are social interventionist party, those who say they are social progressives, are yet to understand that the essence of this of their party is to look at the poorest of the poor and find a way to economically and financially improve their status. People are saying, they come to say, that they have spent over 790 something billion naira on traders' money, farmers' this, all sort of loans, and people are now asking, if you have spent, my brother, do you know what it is? 790 something billion. If you give every Nigeria 10 million naira, it will go around the whole of the adult Nigeria, because we have about, let's estimate we have 200 and something million Nigerians, out of which we can calculate that we have about 80 million population of adulthood. If you give each of the 80 million adulthood 10 million, 700 and something billion naira will go around everybody. And nobody will be complaining in Nigeria. Nobody will be complaining in Nigeria. But yet, poverty is high. Development is high. Infrastructure is not there. About 820 secondary school and primary schools are shut down in the whole of the northern part of the country. Many schools are already shutting down in the whole of the southwest, southeast because of no funding, insecurity, poverty. Then we have a problem with the party structure. The party has to come to terms to what they really mean and what they stand for, and make it real in the life of people in the country.
We have a problem. Maziazu, I know you're very passionate about your home country, and I see that in all of your statements. But we have limited time. It's short. It's a 1 hour, 30 minutes program. So we're going to go on a short break, and we'll be back to discuss the just, even though you've touched on it, the just situation where dead bodies were laid out in front of the governor's office. And also we're rounding it up with our Jimi Hendrix of Africa. That's Sir Victor Efosa Waifo, who passed on day before yesterday. So let's come back and talk on this. Thank you, Maziazu. Thank you.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrate an Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
Thank you very much. You're welcome back to News Roundup, 30th of August, 2021. And we are broadcasting from Milan, Italy, with our coordinators from different corners in Europe. We have Maziazu from the UK. We have Chuma Ebomuche from France. Things are really getting out of hand in Nigeria, and it's a sad thing that people are not, those in authority are not paying attention. They are not giving attention to what is happening. We are all playing the funny situation of looking past, and terrible things keep happening every day. In Jos, we were discussing earlier, Jos Plateau, there was this very ugly situation where people, the dead, those that were wickedly killed, brutalized, and gruesome way of killing people, slashing people's throat and all that. Now those that were those victims were laid out in front of the government office. And when you see this kind of thing, for those of us Nigerians abroad, you want to say, what has happened to human feeling? What has happened to the emotions of people? You know, they treat the dead, and people lives are no more regarded. Nothing. People's lives are like paper. This is sad. I must advise that the video you're seeing now is too gruesome, very explicit. We are sorry if you can't, for those of us that can't stand it, but this is the reality of life. The reality here is we wake up every day in Nigeria and we find some members of some families, some of our people being butchered, our people being raped, our people being killed and being treated like they are not human. And it is sad. It's happening live in our country, Nigeria. So for the sake of those that can't stand this view, I think this is enough. Maziazu, yes, Chuma, what will you say about this? This is not good at all. This is not good. Chuma, what will you say about this? What is your when you see sight like this? How do you feel?
I am crying. I can't stand it. I feel like throwing up. This is man's inhumanity to man. This is where we are looked at and treated like animals. That is, I just read what the Pdp people were saying, that the insecurity in the country has proven the weakness in the present government. Why are those people who continue to butcher other human beings not handled, not treated in the language they will understand? Why are we allowing this? Why are we treating them with kid gloves? Human beings have rights to house, own a ground, and live at a place. You don't walk into somebody's house and kill that person, and you still tell that person not to defend himself or herself. This is not good. Our government should please try and secure his citizens, her citizens. What we are seeing today is gradually evolving. It will also result to the same case like that of the Taliban in Afghan. The same people who are killing, tomorrow they are called bandits, the next day they say they come from a different place. Are these not terrorists? Who are they working for? We should have our security organizations should be able to get these people and finish them. Finish them inside. Either you pack all of them and put them in prison where they will stay and they will not come out to hunt others again. That finishes the case. So why allow them move around and start killing people? These are mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters that are there lying like stones. There's an adage that normally says when they carry the corpse of a different person, it looks like it's a bunch of firewood. But when they carry somebody related to you, you realize that that is not a bunch of firewood.
It's okay. Please. Thank you very much. That's an emotional plea from Chuma. Chuma is seeing it very, very in a very deep way. Maziazu, anyway, you have said a lot about this, but we all can see this gory, very gory sight, very, very it's gruesome to say the least, and we don't like to see this. No matter who it is done to, nobody likes to see such sights and human being being treated like they are nothing. Maziazu, I know you probably you're short of words.
Obviously, I watched that clip, and at a point I wasn't very confident or very strong to keep watching that. I mean, how other human beings could be carrying dead bodies as if it's like my brother Chuma said, log of woods, and be throwing it on the floor, irrespective of the fact that they may have a very germane reason to bring those dead bodies before the government house, because the essence of governance is to provide security and enabling environment, security of life and properties and an enabling environment for economic advancement of the society. And that is why you have government in 3-tier formations. In every defined democratic civil society or every democratic nation state, there are three tiers of government: the federal, the state, and the local governments. And these three has one single fundamental objective: providing security of life and properties in those governed areas. But today in Nigeria, what we hear is that there are so many large areas that are now called ungoverned space. All these ungoverned space, are they not within a local government? Is the local government not designed and demarcated by boundary territorial landmarks? Are these boundary landmarks not defining what local government is in charge of the locality of that ungoverned, defined, and undefined space? The problem is that we fail to act as people are elected, selected, appointed, nominated, whatever form, to govern the life and the properties of our society. So now we have situation where we have ungoverned space, where we have unknown gunmen, where we have challenges of territorial controls. We now have areas controlled by bandits and kidnappers. We now have areas controlled by ISWAP. We now have areas controlled by old Boko Haram. We now have areas controlled by Eastern Security Network. We now have areas governed by Egbesu, the Niger Delta militants. How then do we say we have a government and a state government and local government in Nigeria? There are three fundamental parts of there are three fundamental insecurity challenges that are facing Nigeria. One of them is jihadism. There is a range spirit of jihadism that is being infiltrated or influenced by politicians who are using it as a symbol to disintegrate the country knowingly or unknowingly by the narrative that Nigeria is going to be Islamized or Islamized or Islamist, which is not unacceptable.
Yes,
There is the challenge of clashes between herders and farmers, which is breeding another new and unacceptable condition: ethnic cleansing. We see people being thrown away from their ancestral commune, and another people taking over those communes as their own. In Benue, in Plateau, in Zamfara. We have the issue of banditry and kidnapping. Kidnapping used to be a normal way of armed robbers changing tactics of their business. But now it has become a new industry where people can wake up one day and become millionaires and billionaires by using children and women as cover for business transactions.
Thank you very much.
So if I quickly call the last one, we have the separatist insurgents, and then we have the oil militants. So these are the three key things that I have looked at, and I think the just crisis is a critical point of review for the Nigerian government. Not only the government itself, but the citizenry to also look into it. Do we believe that this is an issue that emanates between us, or is an issue that is being generated by some political class or some certain untouchable elements in our society? For many of us who grew up who stayed in the north for a while, we used to know what is called the Lantern Mafia. And you wake up and hear what is happening in Jos. You ask yourself, where are the Lantern Mafians? We grew up to know what we call the Kaduna Mafians. When you wake up and hear the killings in Kaduna, you ask yourself, who are these Kaduna Mafians? Where are they? And this is happening. So there's a lot of questions to be answered that nobody is willing to give an answer to.
on that note, I want to say thank you. Well, not too sad of a news, but also there is this news during the weekend of our great guitar man, the guitar boy. If you see Mami Water, oh, never. So Nigeria lost Victor Efosa Owaifo at the age of 80. Well, that's not too bad. Since the life expectancy rate of Nigerians is very low. So if we have such people staying up to that age, that's not too bad. But we lost our guitar man. We lost Victor Waifo. And we here in Schengen Story Media want to celebrate and remember him. On that note, yes, I see my man dancing. On that note, we want to say may his soul rest in peace. News roundup, Schengen Story Media. We remember Victor Efosa Owaifo. There's something special about that clip we've just seen now. Behind him is another great legend that passed on, Sonny Okoso. And at the end of that performance, he said he blessed Sonny Okoso and gave some very good mentorship statements. That is something we're not seeing in this time. We're not seeing younger entertainers pay homage to older entertainers. We're not seeing this link between mentoring and the mentor. We're not seeing all that again. Now it's a scattered atmosphere. Everybody's just doing his own thing. Everybody's interested in their own fame, their own ego, their own whatever it is. So, but if you look at that video, you will see a bond between Sonny Okoso and his father, mentor father, Victor Waifo. And that made also Sonny Okoso become a legend of his own. Sonny Okoso on his own was also a legend icon. So what will you guys say about all this? Let me start with Chuma. Chuma, are you there? Godson Azu, can you take it? What will you say about this whole thing, plus the death of Owaifo?
Juba, I want to say that it's a sad moment, but I think I want to say prayers of condolences to the families of the great Victor Owaifo, left behind. He lived a good life. He lived long enough. 80 years is good. It's more than what the Bible prescribes. 3 scores and 10. So he lived up to that. 3 scores and 10 is 80. He's 70. He's 70, I think. Okay, yeah, but he lived 10 more, and that is obviously done very well. God has done good for him, and I believe he wasn't so scandalous. Not much was written about him in an evil manner. in a deregulated, derogated manner by anyone throughout his life. And nobody really know much about his family life in public domain, whether he had children or had too many wives or had.
He had 6 wives, 6 children, and one wife. And like you said, he didn't have much. In fact, there weren't any scandalous sheets on him.
He didn't have, even when he was the first ever musician to be a commissioner, an entertainer, to be a commissioner of culture and art for Edo State. During, I think it was during, Igbinedon, Lucky Igbinedon's era. It's Lucky Igbinedon that appointed him that. Victor Wifo is a legend in the likes of Chief Sir Stephen Osadebe, in the likes of Sir Sonny Ade, in the likes of Olaya, Victor Olaya, in the likes of Ebenezer Obe. It's in that league of people who made Nigeria what Nigeria was in the 70s, in the 80s. It's a music. It's a household of music. It's I mean, it's Jimi Hendrix of Africa. He toys. The guitar is like a toy to him. He makes all kinds of sound from his guitar. And like he said in his last interview during his birthday, I watched it. He said, "I have lived everything I need to live on earth. I read book as much as any other person to be a PhD holder. I did my PhD. I was spiritual. I have link between my relationship with the God of heaven. I keep to that." And he kept to his exercise. And that gave him all the long life he lived without major health problems, without any challenges, physical challenges. And we thank God for his good life. We pray for all our young musicians. Today, these people play music and you can hear the lyrics. You can hear the words. You can make meaning with the words of their music. You can trace the historic element of their songs to cultural orientation. But today, many of our live band musicians are what I call remakes. They don't have originality, and they don't express reality in terms of their music.
Let me hear from Chuma on Victor Wifo. Then we round up. Thank you very much, Mazi Azu. Thank you. Chuma, the great man has passed on, and like Mazi Azu have said, he did a lot. Yesterday, I personally said he's the Jimi Hendrix of Africa. I don't know if you know Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix played the guitar to an extent that the guitar brought out fire. I mean, nobody has done that. That's modern, spectacular.
Yeah. Victor Wifo is a legend that we must remember and respect. He's the first Nigerian musician or African musician to win a gold disc with his Joromi. He won that in 1965, which was very wonderful, and he read to the level of a PhD. He's a musician that I think he's the highest learned musician in Nigeria. He lived a very good life, and he has really left a legacy that many people ought to follow. I don't think there's anyone that will beat his record for the time being. When you talk about Victor Wifo, you talk about Osadebe, you talk about Oliver De Coke, you talk about Sonny Okosin, you talk about Victor Lyodem and all those. These were great musicians that really lived and left marks. I must say,
very much. On that note, we want to call it a wrap for today. News round, 30th of August, 2021, and we've done justice to issues going around the world, from Afghanistan to health issues in Nigeria, from health issues to just security, Nigerian security. From that, we went into also occurrences in other parts of the world. So I want to say thank you to my friends, my coordinators and colleagues from UK, Godson Azu, thank you. Hope to be here same time next week. Chuma from France, thank you very much. Connect with you again. It's nice having you guys in the studio. So we say grazie and good afternoon to all our friends around the world. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you very much. And